Have you ever heard of a grand, strategic rivalry that spanned continents, not with direct battles, but with spies, diplomacy, and influence? It was a tense, drawn-out competition for power and territory, shaping the fate of nations without ever declaring outright war. The Great Game, a geopolitical struggle lasting for most of the 19th century, primarily involved two major imperial powers, the British Empire and the Russian Empire. These two formidable entities were locked in a prolonged contest for supremacy and influence across Central Asia, with profound implications for the region and the wider world. The core reason for this intense rivalry stemmed from each empire's strategic anxieties and expansionist ambitions. Great Britain, with its vast Indian empire, viewed any Russian expansion towards the south as a direct threat to its most valuable colonial possession. They feared Russia establishing a warm-water port or gaining access to the Indian Ocean. Conversely, Russia saw Central Asia as its natural sphere of influence and a vital pathway for its own expansion, securing its southern borders and seeking access to new markets and resources. The collision of these two expansionist trajectories created the friction. To understand the depth of this rivalry, consider how both empires employed a range of tactics. British and Russian agents, diplomats, and explorers ventured deep into uncharted territories, mapping regions, forging alliances with local rulers, and often engaging in espionage. These actions were not about direct conquest of each other's core territories but about extending their influence over buffer states like Afghanistan, Persia, and the Khanates of Central Asia, turning them into strategic chess pieces on a grand board. This era introduced us to terms like buffer state diplomacy, where smaller, neutral nations were strategically cultivated to prevent direct borders between rival powers. The Great Game also highlighted the concept of imperial overstretch, as both empires constantly balanced the costs of expansion against perceived strategic gains. It was a fascinating blend of geographical exploration, intelligence gathering, and nation building, all driven by a profound distrust and competition for global dominance. Ultimately, the Great Game illustrates how geopolitical competition, even without full-scale war, can profoundly shape regions and global power dynamics. Understanding this struggle reveals not only the historical ambitions of empires but also the enduring patterns of strategic rivalries and the critical role of geography in international relations, offering valuable insights into complex global interactions even today.